What's going on, everybody? It's Craig Erickson. www.derbycitysr.com. Uh, Here we are, day after the draft. I must say, I'm pretty disappointed about the trades. I really thought there was gonna be a whole lot of them, but that's how we're gonna do these videos. I'm gonna probably do a couple different ones. 1 through 10, then 11 through 20, 21 through 30, then probably try to wrap the second round up in one. But you know, Anthony Davis, number one, no surprise there. He definitely gonna be a beast within a couple years. I just think he needs to bulk up a little bit to me, but if he can block shots half of what he did in college, he'll be effective. They're a lot more creative in the league, so we'll see how he goes and do from that. And they definitely got a franchise player and to sell some tickets on the right track to win some games, turn this franchise around. Number two, the Bobcats. My man, even though he played for Kentucky, Michael Kidd Gilchrist, and do your facts for your hate on the way he talk because he has a speech impediment. He can't help it. So don't talk about it because either way, he's a beast on the court, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. He ain't got to talk. He ain't got to say a word for all I care. Um, he's gonna be a beast, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being one of the best players out of this class, with it being so deep. He just never quits, man. He's the true definition of go hard or go home. He is always going hard. he he's definitely gonna be the man in Charlotte, especially if he gets that jump shot mid-range game down, because he's a lockdown defender. Give him time, perfect size. He's one of my favorite players in the draft. And then number three, you have Bradley Beal. Man, him and John Wall together, give John Wall a deadly shooter like that. Man, the Wizards are trying to make some moves though. Getting Okafor, Nene, um, Bradley Beal, and Trevor Ariza and John Wall. Man, that's a nice little lineup, if I say so. I like Bill a lot. MKG and Bill were my two favorite players. At the top five players in the draft. But Washington's definitely on the come up. And then the Cavaliers with the first surprise of the night, and Dion Waiters. Personally, as a Louisville fan, I watched Louisville versus Syracuse, and I must say, don't really remember Dion Waiters doing that much coming off the bench against Louisville. Nothing spectacular, at least. I remember the name because who don't? But I don't know. They say he's got Dwayne Wade in him. Well, I guess time will tell. But personally, to me, if you're gonna take a player like that, why pass on Harrison Barnes? He's NBA ready. Beats me, but that was definitely the first surprise of the night. And then the Kings at 5 must have definitely been one of the best picks in the draft with Thomas Robinson. Man, you throw him next to DeMarcus Cousins on that front line. Wow, talk about big and bad. Rebounding machine, man. He's just athletic, big, plus much respect to him and everything that he's been through. Last year at Kansas, losing his mom and grandma with what they say, like 25 days apart, man. And then it was definitely a moment when he was doing his interview after he got picked. Much respect for him. I've always liked him as a player, but he's gonna be a monster on the boards at least. And he can throw down some dunks too. I'm ready to see what the Kings are all about. They should have another. Heck, they've been in the lottery for how many years? They should have a pretty good team. Last year they messed up getting Fredette though. personally opinion, but that was last year. The Blazers 6, Damian Lillard from Weber State. Don't really know much about him, but I hear he's a beast. Score gives him a scoring, and from tape, looks like a beast. Blazers definitely needed a point guard to go around. So I think they think they got their man in Lillard. But let's see what happens from there. Then you had the Warriors at number 7. Harrison Barnes. He fits them. Young, run, get up and down the court. And his style of play definitely fits the NBA more than it did at college. So for everybody hating on him, say he ain't lived the expectations, just watch. Watch till he gets on the court in the NBA. With the Warriors, you got him, Curry and Thompson, then Bogut and David Lee. Yeah, they might be a force here pretty soon. Especially if they get their coach out of whatever he got going on, the situation up there. If they keep him or get rid of him, get a good one in there. Then the Raptors, to me, Terrence Ross, Raptors at 8. A little bit of a surprise there, but I guess, hey, you get who you like, and if you felt he wasn't going to be there or you couldn't make a move, but personally, I don't always agree with trading down in the NBA draft, but I think I would have maybe traded a couple picks down and tried, because I figured he probably would have still been there, but I mean, he's an athletic beast. He can score. He should fit their system pretty good. Him and DeMar DeRozan, they got maybe, I don't know. So I don't know how much I like that pick there. And then the Pistons at 9. Call it what you want, but Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe on that back line, it's huge. Drummond was a high risk, high reward type deal to me, because if he fills out his potential, wow. He just got to get his head on right. He's a little immature, I think. Should just now be coming into college this year and stuff. So we should see what happens with him and Monroe. Not to mention Brandon Knight down there. It's a nice young three guys to build around and hope for the future. Get back to their winning ways when they had all them players. You know, Rip, Chauncey, Tayshaun, Ben, Rasheed. They working back towards that. Gotta give them props. Then the Hornets at 10, Austin Rivers. Yeah. Him and Anthony Davis together could be pretty bad. Could be in a few years. Austin Rivers, he's kind of like Harrison Barnes. His game's more fitted towards the NBA level. I mean, not to mention his dad's been a coach for how long. He's been growing up in the NBA. You know, even when his dad played, he's growing up around the NBA. So he knows what it takes to make it. He's got a swagger about him. He wants to be great, you can tell. But I don't know if I would have picked him here. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Lamb personally, and I think he's the same way as Drummond. Man, if he can get his head on right, then he could be. Well, I ain't even gonna say get his head on right. He seems pretty level-headed. If he can just bring it every night, it seems like he took nights off when he was at UConn. But let's see what happened. At top 10, my favorite pick was the Kings. Well, it's a toss-up. The Kings and Harrison Barnes, or the Kings and Thomas Robinson, and the Warriors and Harrison Barnes. They got what they needed, and it so happened to be the best player available when they came up to pick. Personally, what I think Harrison Barnes was about the 4th best player in the draft. But I tell you what, they both of those teams should be on their way to doing something. I don't really know much about the Kings, but I know they got Cousins, Tyreek, Marcus Thornton, my man Terrence Williams, and Francisco Garcia. Then they got Chuck Hayes. Uh, I mean, I think they got John Salmons too. I think, but they they just got to put it together somehow, some way. I mean, Evans, Tyreek, Thomas Robinson, and DeMarcus Cousins is just too much to not be doing nothing now. So we'll see if Thomas Robinson can go in there and make a statement, get that team back. Uh, Not to mention, now y'all might think I'm just saying it because I'm a Louisville fan, but Terrence Williams should be doing a whole lot more than what he's doing. Uh, he think he got the big head, but he needs to go ahead and put it together and get his game going like when he played at Louisville. But it wraps up the top 10 with those 10. Austin Rivers and Anthony Davis will be a duo of the future. You know how they say everybody's got a big three. Maybe New Orleans grab two members of that to throw next to Eric Gordon for their big three. So first they got to re-sign him. But we'll check and see what happens with that. I really like the Warriors pick. Not to mention the Wizards. I don't know. All top 10, they all talented. They all had good picks. Just Dion Waiters and Terrence Ross was the only ones a little bit iffy about. But seemed like all the NBA GMs was pretty high on Waiters. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it ain't. So we'll see how he pairs with Kyrie Irving in the backcourt in Cleveland. But he's not LeBron James. So nowhere near it. Don't get your hopes up. See what happens with that. Terrence Ross, another one. See how he works out up there in Toronto. I'm honestly shocked there wasn't some trades to take place in the top 10. They said the Lakers tried to get Pau Gasol and made plenty of phone calls to go to the top 10, but it never happened. So, I don't know. Then Houston, I guess it's kind of like mission failed, mission accomplished in theirs. But we'll get into the next video with them. But there you have it, 1 through 10. All right. Better go through 11 through 20, the next one. So I'm breaking it down so maybe you can get to your favorite team and see what they got, So stay tuned. 11 through 12 coming up.